On the morning of September 29, 1957, life around the closed Soviet city of Ozyorsk appeared normal. Workers reported for shifts behind barbed wire and armed checkpoints. Trains moved on schedule. Villages nearby went about their routines, unaware that one of the most dangerous industrial sites on Earth was quietly failing beneath their feet. The place was known officially as Chelyabinsk 40. It did not exist on maps. Chelyabinsk 40 housed the Mayak Production Association, a secret nuclear weapons complex built after World War II to produce plutonium for Soviet atomic bombs. The facility worked at a frantic pace during the early Cold War, dumping radioactive waste wherever it could, into rivers, shallow lakes, and underground steel tanks never designed for long-term storage. Speed mattered more than safety. Secrecy mattered more than lives. Beneath the complex, dozens of large tanks held high-level liquid radioactive waste, kept from exploding only by continuous cooling systems. The waste generated heat as radioactive elements decayed. Without cooling, pressure would rise. Engineers knew this. Reports warned about aging infrastructure. Maintenance was deferred anyway. At some point in 1956, the cooling system for one of the tanks failed. No alarm was raised. No immediate repair was made. The tank was quietly forgotten. Over the next year, heat built steadily inside it. Temperatures climbed, chemical reactions intensified, pressure rose inside a sealed container filled with radioactive sludge equivalent to tens of millions of curies. At approximately 4:20 p.m., the tank exploded. The blast was not nuclear, there was no mushroom cloud, but it was violent enough to rip apart reinforced concrete, blow a massive lid weighing several tons into the air, and scatter radioactive material across the landscape. A column of contaminated dust rose high into the atmosphere and drifted northeast for hundreds of kilometers. The explosion instantly destroyed part of the Mayak complex. Workers nearby were thrown to the ground, buildings cracked, windows shattered. Some employees were killed outright. Others were showered in radioactive debris without knowing what it was. Radiation alarms either failed or were ignored. Many continued working. The Soviet Union moved immediately to erase the event. No public announcement was made. No evacuation orders were issued at first. Hospitals were not informed. Villages downwind continued drinking contaminated water, eating crops grown in irradiated soil, and breathing dust laced with long-lived isotopes like strontium-90 and cesium-137. Over the following days, people began to fall ill. Skin reddened and blistered. Hair fell out. Vomiting became common. Children collapsed. Doctors were instructed not to diagnose radiation sickness. Medical records were falsified. Death certificates listed vague causes. Entire villages were later evacuated without explanation, their homes bulldozed and buried. Residents were told they had been relocated for sanitary reasons. Some were never told anything at all. An estimated 10,000 people were eventually evacuated, often years too late. At least 270,000 people were exposed to dangerous radiation levels across what became known as the East Ural radioactive trace. Livestock died. Forests were contaminated. Rivers remained poisoned for decades. Officially, none of this happened. For years, Soviet authorities denied that any major accident had occurred. Western scientists noticed unusual radiation patterns but lacked confirmation. Inside the USSR, discussion was forbidden. Survivors were threatened with prison if they spoke. Even the victims did not know the truth. Many believed they were cursed. Others believed they were sick from stress. Some blamed each other. Meanwhile, Mayak continued operating. Only in the late 1970s did fragments of the truth begin to emerge, smuggled out by dissidents and scientists. Even then, the Soviet government admitted nothing. It was not until 1989, more than 30 decades later, that the disaster was officially acknowledged. By then, countless people were dead. Exact numbers will never be known. Conservative estimates suggest hundreds died directly, with thousands more suffering long-term cancers, birth defects, and chronic illness. Entire ecosystems were permanently damaged. Large exclusion zones still exist today, some more contaminated than areas around Chernobyl. The Kyshtym disaster, named after a nearby town rather than the secret city itself, is considered the third worst nuclear accident in history, after Chernobyl and Fukushima. Yet it remains the least known. There were no dramatic images broadcast worldwide, no foreign journalists allowed in, no official reckoning. The explosion was real, the deaths were real, the suffering was real. But on paper, it never happened. The Mayak explosion revealed the most dangerous weapon of the Cold War was not always the bomb itself, but the systems built to support it, systems rushed, hidden, and shielded from accountability. It showed how secrecy can transform an industrial failure into a silent mass casualty event, unfolding slowly in bodies and bloodlines instead of headlines. Those who lived through it were not soldiers, they were not enemies, they were not warned. They were simply in the wrong place, near a weapons factory that the state insisted was safe, until the day it erased their lives and then erased the memory of doing so. The explosion ended in seconds. The lie lasted decades.